A 17-year-old high school kid from Texas just won the World Indoor Championship gold medal in the 800 meters. Not a junior title, not a regional meet, the actual World Championship. He beat every professional runner on the planet. And while those professionals were preparing for this race as their full-time job, Cooper Lutkenhaus was on spring break. Cooper was born on December 19, 2008, in the Dallas area of Texas. His dad, George, finished second at the state meet in the 1600 meters. His older brother, Andrew, ran 150 in the 800 and placed third at Nike Outdoor Nationals in 2023. Running was already in the family. But nobody in that family had ever done anything close to what Cooper was about to do. His freshman year of high school told the whole story early. Cooper went undefeated in the 800 meters. He won 3 national meets and the Texas state title. He also ran a 47.33 in the 400 meters at just 15 years old. That mix of sprint speed and distance endurance is rare at any age. At 15, it was almost unheard of. He then set the American high school freshman record with a 1:47.58 at the Brooks PR Invitational. Coaches across the country started making calls. But his freshman year was only the warm-up. Sophomore year, June 2025, Michael Granville had held the American high school record in the 800 meters since 1996. 29 years. Every talented high school runner in America had tried to break it. Cooper ran 1:46.26 at the Brooks PR Invitational and erased it. 2 weeks later at Nike Outdoor Nationals, he pushed it even further to 1:45.45. Then came the 2025 USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Cooper was a 16-year-old high school student racing full professionals. In the semifinals, he stumbled at the 400-meter mark. Most runners lose a race after that. Cooper recovered, still finished second, ran 1:45.57, and became the youngest man ever to qualify for the US 800-meter final. The final came down to Cooper and Donovan Breyer, the 2019 world champion. Cooper crossed the line second in 1:42.27. That time broke the world under-18 record by over a full second. The old record was 1:43.37, held by Muhammad Aman. Cooper's last 100-meter split was 12.48 seconds. He flew past Brandon Miller, Josh Hoey, and his childhood hero Bryce Hoppel in that stretch. At 16 years old, only 3 Americans in history had ever run faster. Nike called. In August 2025, Cooper signed a professional contract and became the first American male middle-distance runner to turn pro while still in high school. He kept going to school. He kept training with his high school coach Chris Capo at Northwest High School in Justin, Texas. Keep that number 1:42.27 in your head, because what happens next makes even that look small. September 2025. World Championships in Tokyo. This was supposed to be the moment. Cooper showed up as the youngest American ever to compete at the World Athletics Championships. He was eliminated in round 1, 7th in his heat. Done. What most people missed was why. By the time Cooper got to Tokyo, he had been racing for 17 straight months. Cross-country, indoor season, outdoor season, then straight to Worlds. His body was empty. He went home to Texas, sat with coach Chris Capo, and broke down every mistake from that race. The 2026 indoor season was a completely different Cooper. On January 24th, he ran 1:45.23 at the Norb Sander Invitational and broke the US under-18 indoor record. That record had belonged to Donovan Breyer, the same man who beat him at the USA Championships months earlier. On February 1st at the Millrose Games, Cooper ran the 600 meters in 1:14.5 and set a new world under-20 record. 13 days later on Valentine's Day, he ran the 800 in 1:44.03 at the AS6 Invitational, another world under-20 record. On March 1st, he won the USATF Indoor Championships in 1:46.68 and became the national champion. He had not lost a single race since Tokyo. Not one. Torun, Poland. World Indoor Championships. Cooper was seeded third going in. The gold medal favorite was Elliot Creston of Belgium, a veteran with 3 straight World Indoor Championship podium finishes. who had run 1:43.83 just 1 month before this meet. That time ranks among the top 5 performances in indoor history. The semifinal was a warning shot to every runner in that building. Cooper ran 1:44.29 and won his heat. That time was the fastest at a World Indoor Championship in 29 years, going back to Wilson Kipketer in 1997. And Cooper crossed the line easing up, while the other runners fought just to qualify. The final started with Cooper in 4th place. He stayed calm. At the 500-meter mark, he moved to Creston's shoulder and pushed to the front. Not at the bell. Not in the final straight. Right in the middle of the race. Creston fought hard at the bell. The gap was tight. Cooper held it every step to the line.
Lachlan Kennedy beat him. Not once, twice. Same track, same race, same result. And the whole of Australia was watching both times. But before the second race, Gout Gout walked up to a microphone and said 3 words that told you everything about who he is. "I'm out for revenge." That was it. No speech. No long interview. Just 6 syllables carrying a full year of pain, training, and obsession. This is the story of what those 3 words actually meant and whether they were enough. Gout Gout was born on December 29, 2007, in Ipswich, Queensland, Australia. He is 18 years old, and he already holds the Australian national record in the 200 meters at 20.02 seconds. To understand how ridiculous that is, you need to know what came before him. Peter Norman set the old Australian 200-meter record at 20.06 seconds at the 1968 Mexico City Olympics. That record stood for 56 years. Then, in December 2024, a 16-year-old from Queensland ran 20.04 seconds at the Australian All-Schools Athletics Championship in Brisbane and ended it. Just like that. Gone. 56 years. Done by a teenager who hadn't even finished high school. That time made Gout faster than Usain Bolt was at the exact same age. Bolt's age 16, best was 20.13. Gout ran 20.04. When that happened, Bolt himself replied to an Instagram post saying Gout looks like young me. The whole athletics world stopped. Who is this kid? By June 2025, Gout had already pushed his record even further, running 20.02 at the Ostrava Golden Spike meet in the Czech Republic. Then in February 2026, he ran the 100 meters in 10 seconds at the DN's Birdsmith Shield meet in Brisbane, making him the 3rd fastest Australian man in history over 100 meters. He wasn't just a 200-meter specialist anymore. He was becoming complete. But in March 2025, something happened that nobody saw coming. At the Maury Plant meet in Melbourne, in front of a sold-out Lakeside Stadium crowd of 10,000 people, with the entire nation watching on live television, Gout Gout lost. Lachlan Kennedy came out of the blocks like a man on a mission. He built a lead around the bend that nobody expected. Gout launched his devastating finishing speed in the straight. The crowd erupted, and he closed the gap fast. But the finish line came too soon. Kennedy crossed it first, 20.26 seconds. Gout crossed second at 20:30, 0.04 of a second. Kennedy even admitted afterwards, 5 more meters, he definitely would have had me. That's how close it was. But close doesn't count. The scoreboard only reads first and second. Kennedy was no accident. He was 21 years old, a world indoor silver medalist, over 60 meters from the Nanjing World Indoor Championships. He had competed on international stages. He had the experience that Gout, for all his talent, simply did not have yet. Kennedy's strength was his start. Gout's strength was his closing speed. And when Kennedy got far enough ahead on the bend, Gout's closing speed had no track left to use. The loss stung. It was Gout's first second-place finish in over 8 months. It exposed something real, and it stayed with him every single day for a full year. That year between the races was not wasted. Gout also finished high school at Ipswich Grammar School, one of Australia's most prestigious institutions. For 2 years, he had been splitting his focus between training, international travel, school assignments, and exams. Now, that was over. And when he spoke about it, he was calm but clear. He said, "Training is definitely going to be a lot more professional. I can get a lot more reps and get in the gym a bit more. That's definitely going to be a major factor." Nobody had done it. Not in the history of college track. Not once in the entire existence of indoor sprinting. Breaking 20 seconds in the 200 meters indoors as a collegiate athlete, it just had not happened. And then on March 14th, 2026, at the Randall Tyson Track Center in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Garrett Kaalund did exactly that. The clock read 1995. The crowd lost their minds. And college track was never going to be the same again. Kaalund was born on January 25, 2004, in Georgia, but grew up in San Antonio, Texas, where his mother, Ann Kaalund, signed him up for track, simply because the kid could not sit still. He landed at Antonian College Preparatory High School, and by May 2022, he was winning the Texas South Region titles in both the 200 meters and the 400 meters. He set school records in the 100, 200, and 400. He anchored record-setting 4x100, 4x400 relay teams. He was named Athlete of the Year at his school. He was the fastest recruit in the state of Texas that year. His personal bests coming out of high school were 10.51 in the 100, 20.66 in the 200, and 46.88 in the 400. College programs were lining up. He chose the University of Nebraska. As a freshman, he ran 20.65 in the 200 meters. As a sophomore, he dropped that to 20.25 and earned second-team All-American honors at the NCAA championships. The improvement was steep and consistent, but Nebraska was not where this story was going to peak. In August 2024, USC hired Brenton Emanuel as their sprints and hurdles coach. Emanuel had been Kaalund's coach at Nebraska. Kaalund followed him. The transfer changed everything. At USC, something clicked beyond just the coaching. The environment, the belief in that building, it got into Kaalund. He has said it himself. The athletes around him believed in themselves at a level he had not seen before, and that belief became contagious. But the real technical work was happening at the starting blocks. Emanuel had identified the one flaw holding Kaalund back: his start. Kaalund was always a monster in the back half of a race, but he would dig himself a hole in the first 60 meters and then spend the rest of the race clawing back. After countless hours working that start, he finally had a complete race dangerous from gun to tape. The result that first indoor season at USC, the Trojans won the overall NCAA Indoor Championships team title in March 2025, their first team title in 53 years. He entered 2026 with one target: win. On February 6th, he ran 20.12 in New Mexico, breaking the USC school record that had stood since 2015 when Olympic champion Andre DeGrasse set it. 2 weeks later, at the Big Ten Indoor Championships in Indianapolis, he ran 20.06, the third fastest indoor 200 in history, a new Big Ten meet record, and the fastest time in the world for 2026. He was not done. Emanuel said Kaalund had turned down the opportunity to go professional after the 2025 season because he felt the job was unfinished. He came back for titles, and he was about to collect the biggest one of his life: the NCAA Division I Indoor Track and Field Championships, March 14, 2026. The men's 200-meter final was the last individual race of the entire meet. In Section 1, Wayne McCoy of Florida had already run a personal best 20.17, a serious time to beat. Kaalund was in Section 2, the fast section, alongside Galani Watkins of Arkansas, the number 2 seed, fresh off breaking the Arkansas 60-meter record earlier that same day. Before the race, Emanuel described what Kaalund is like in warm-ups: pacing, nervous, moving constantly. Then the gun fires, and he becomes an entirely different person. That is exactly what happened. He exploded off the blocks, the clean, powerful start that Emanuel had spent a year building. He attacked the curve. He came off it flying. Down the straight he lifted, drove, and crossed the line. The clock stopped at 1995. The place erupted. Kaalund had become the first collegiate athlete in history to break 20 seconds indoors. He beat McCoy's 20.17 by 0.22 seconds. Watkins finished third. It was not a close race. It was a statement. The previous NCAA and American indoor record was 20.02, set by Elijah Hall in 2018. Gone. The facility record of 20.10 held by Wallace Spearman since 2005, gone. His 19.95 is now the second fastest indoor 200 in world history. The only man who has ever run faster indoors is Frank Fredericks of Namibia, who ran 19.92 in Leeuwen, France, in February 1996, a world record that had stood for 30 years. Kaalund missed it by 0.03 of a second as a college student indoors. He now owns 2 of the 3 fastest indoor collegiate 200-meter times ever run. His 19.95 at number 1 and his 20.06 tied at number 3. No other college sprinter in the history of the sport has ever sat that high on that list. After crossing the line, Kaalund said he woke up that morning convinced going under 20 was not possible. Then he stepped outside and changed his mind. "I said I don't care. I'm running it today." The outdoor season is next. His outdoor personal best already sits at 19.96. The world indoor record is 19.92. Garrett Kaalund is 22 years old. The ceiling has not been found yet. Jordan Anthony just walked into the biggest indoor track meet in America, lined up next to the Olympic champion, beat him by 0.06 seconds, and then told him to find a new hobby. He is 21 years old. It is his first professional season, and he was completely calm the whole time. On March 1st, 2026, at the Ocean Breeze Athletic Complex in Staten Island, New York, the USATF Indoor Championships gave the sprint world a moment nobody saw coming. The men's 60-meter final had 3 serious names on the start list. Trayvon Bromell, a former 2016 world indoor champion and one of the most dangerous starters in the history of the event. Noah Lyles, the reigning Olympic 100-meter gold medalist, 4-time 200-meter world champion, and the undisputed face of American track and field. And then there was Anthony, a rookie, a kid from Tylertown, Mississippi, who grew up dreaming about the Heisman Trophy, not a national sprint title. When the gun fired, Anthony exploded out of the blocks, hit the 30-meter mark in control, and never looked back. He crossed the line in 6.45 seconds. Bromell finished second in 6:47. Lyles, the man who owns 8 world titles and an Olympic gold medal, finished third in 6:51. The rookie beat the king, and the sport has not been the same since. To understand how big this is, you have to understand who Noah Lyles actually is. This is not just a fast guy. Lyles won the 100-meter gold at the 2024 Paris Olympics, ending a long drought for American sprinting. He holds the American record in the 200 meters at 19.31 seconds, set at the 2022 World Athletics Championships. He has been the loudest, most dominant, most entertaining sprinter on the planet for years. He created the championship belt celebration. He built a brand. He is a cultural icon in a sport that rarely produces them. And before this race, Lyles had not even competed at the USATF Indoor Championships in over 9 years. His last appearance was back in 2018 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where he finished 9th. So when he showed up in 2026, he came with a message. He told reporters that anyone who thought he was letting that belt go somewhere else simply did not know Noah Lyles. He said he was going all out from the very start of the season. He was not scared of anyone. That is the man Jordan Anthony just beat. Now here is what makes Anthony's story different from every other rising star narrative you have heard. He was not even supposed to be a sprinter. He was a wide receiver. He played football at 3 different colleges: University of Kentucky, Texas A&M, and finally University of Arkansas. He had 8 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown at Arkansas. Real football, real games. He once said that if you told him years ago he would be a professional sprinter, he would have laughed in your face. He kept grinding in both sports until track completely took over. And when it did, that football mentality came with it. The explosiveness, the composure under pressure, the ability to perform in crucial moments. Those are not track skills. Those are football skills. And they translate perfectly into the 60 meters. A race that is decided entirely in the first half by reaction time, drive phase, and raw acceleration. His 2025 college season was a warning that most people ignored. He won the NCAA indoor title in the 60 meters. Then he went outdoors and won the NCAA title in the 100 meters. He became the first sprinter since 2017 to pull off that double in the same season. He swept the 100 at the SEC Championships, running 9.95 and 19.93. He won the Bowerman Award, the most prestigious honor in college track. During his speech, he said, "A football player winning the Bowerman. That's crazy." Then he signed with Adidas, turned professional, and moved to Florida to train under coach Lance Brahman, alongside Noah Lyles himself. Every single day, these two are in the same facility, competing against each other in practice. That detail matters more than people realize. But 2026 did not start perfectly for Anthony. On February 1st, he raced at the Millrose Games and finished third. People immediately started saying he had already lost his edge, that he had fallen off before he even got started. His response was not to argue. He used it as fuel. 2 weeks later, on February 13th, at the Tyson Invitational in Fayetteville, Arkansas, he ran 6.43 seconds. That time made him the fastest man in the world in the 60 meters for 2026 and ranked him as the 10th fastest sprinter ever recorded at the distance. He went from being counted out to being the world leader in 14 days. Then he went to Staten Island and won the national title. After the race, Lyles handed Anthony the championship belt personally. The symbolism was obvious. Then Anthony spoke to NBC Sports and did not hold back. He said, "I looked to my right and my left, and I was like, I don't hear Noah. I don't see Trayvon. GG's in the chat. New generation is taking over. Today was the day I had to give them their eviction notice." And when asked about training alongside Lyles, he kept it honest. "I enjoy training with Noah. Of course we're going to talk smack. The sport is soft if we don't. I'm bringing football mentality. He's just bringing old age, right now." He called the Olympic champion old. On national television, at 21 years old, ice cold. Anthony now heads to Torun, Poland for the 2026 World Indoor Championships from March 20th to March 22nd, entering as the world leader in the 60 meters. Kashane Thompson, of Jamaica, the Olympic 100-meter silver medalist,